I remember we had a signing ceremony at the Women's College in Sydney, very prestigious college. And I'm in a room with 300 young women, 18 to 23 years of age. And the noise in that room of 300 young women laughing and giggling, chatting, was definitely, it was a kindness dinner. And I was there to hand out 150 awards or something like that. And I'm on the table with 20 girls that belong to the student body. And this is in 2014, I think. So I'd been involved for a while doing kindness. And they're all wanting to talk and ask questions and get to know me. And the old me would have been happy to, lap up the attention. But I found myself drawn to the silence and the stillness of one student. Preoccupied with being preoccupied. And during that entire time that I was observing her, that 15 minutes, not only did no one speak to her, no one even looked at her. And what I tell people is that when you are doing this, your bandwidth increases, your radar is turned on, and you begin to see the unseen. But more so, not only do you see them, there's this deafening voice that compels you to do something, to act, because kindness is a verb. And to go out and invite that person in. And one of the most powerful words in any language to break loneliness is the word hello. And you invite them to join you because previously you've just got your clique, you've got your inner circle and you're happy and everything's cool. And is this a great school? Of course it is. But then look at the people that are on the fringe of society, the ones that might not be good for your personal brand, the ones that might be a little bit socially awkward. Have a look at them and be prepared to put your personal brand at risk and your maybe sense of belonging. And maybe when she goes back to her dorm and she calls her mother that night, maybe she will say, "You never guess who said hello to me today." That's not hard, but yet it doesn't happen.
Simple acts of kindness.
And you want to talk about school shooters in America? The only thing different between what is causing that in America and what is happening in Australia is that they have guns. The issues, the underlying issues of these people that are hurt and that are somewhat damaged are the same. When miners of old go into the mines, they used to take with them a very sensitive, innocent creature, a canary, a yellow canary, the canary in the cage, because it was the first to sense a toxic environment, a toxic air. And it would start to gag. And the miners then knew that something was wrong and they would evacuate. And I think in the lucky country in Australia, when our most sensitive creatures and most innocent are 10 and 12-year-olds that have come to the realization that this world for them is too cruel, too lonely and too unkind, that they need to leave it. And if that's not an early warning sign telling us that our culture has become toxic, then I don't know what will. Because if we allow this to continue like this, then what's the hope? And people often say, what does the kind of world look like? And that's an easy thing, right? Kind of neighbour, kind of boss, kind of tax man. But I say, imagine a world that had zero kindness. No kindness in the family, there would be no hospitals, there would be no emergency services, there would be no community, because it's a world that's become all about self. You're born, if you're lucky, if you haven't been terminated, or if you're unlucky, into a world where you're left to fend for yourself. How long would the human race survive on this planet? How long would the planet survive? So when you get it in that perspective, that this is an essential element to our survival. And unless we get it and we nurture it and we tap into its power, we're doomed.
It sounds, when you put it in that context, that kindness is the oxygen for humanity. You kill kindness and you kill off the supply of oxygen to humanity.
It's all about collaborating, working together, caring. But yes, care for yourself. Yes, be kind to yourself. But get out of your chair.
Have the courage.
That's it.
I was in the US last year with my wife and son, and we were traveling around between California, Vegas, and San Francisco. Well, we drove from California to Vegas, and we were picking up a beautiful luxury. I can't even really Winnebago. I think that's what they call it, from Vegas to drive that to San Fran. And while I was in the waiting, and there was a bit of a queue waiting for the Winnebago to be available, this lady came up to me and she said, "We have a full jet, what's it called? A full esky, not jet ski, but esky, full of drinks and food and everything. And this is just it's for you." And I was like, "Hang on, do you work here?" She said, "No, we've just come back from a trip ourselves, and somebody did it for us." So we're just passing on the kindness. And I said, "Well, that's fantastic." Yeah, very much paying it forward. And I said, "It's fantastic. Thank you. And I'll make sure I do the same." She said, "Well, that's the only catch. So if you accept it, please make sure that you do the same for the next person." I said, "Happy to." And so we got this. I took a picture of it. And when we came back from our trip, put it on Facebook and said, "This is one of the nicest highlights of the trip. Is this act of kindness that somebody selflessly did before this lady and passed it on." And it just
Starts a chain reaction.
Exactly. And it's probably still going now. Well, I hope it is.
Yeah.
So I think if I go there again and I come across that esky or any of these kind of things, I can attach that story to this card.
Well, you'll pick up 10,000 miles as well in travel.
We travel quite a bit, and frequent smile and kindness points is good.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Awesome. So what's my obligation with this card?
Well, you need to go to the website, and you just need to follow the prompts that are on the instructions on the back of the card and register the card at an appropriate time. When you find someone deserving, acknowledge their act of kindness, enter the story using that card number that's on the front of the card, and then pass it on, asking them to do the same. Anything we've got is available to everybody to share, and we want to share our knowledge, share our tools, share our network, share our resources. We've had some amazing stuff happen. There was a fashion parade we did in a shopping centre where the models were not just beautiful, but they were also models that were living with disabilities. And they were wearing different labels that day. And they were in the spotlight for the right reasons. And the audience was so inspired and moved by the energy of these kids that had, for most part, never had that opportunity to shine. So that's available on our website as well. It was called Share the Love. We did that for Valentine's Day. We did the big hug events, and we do a lot of conversations in kindness, and that's really important. And we've got one on Saturday, which Sarah Strong has kindly organised. Sarah's just joined World Kindness Australia as a Goodwill Ambassador here in Perth, and we're excited to have her, and we thank her for organising today's interview.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal person and a dear friend, and she's actually behind this interview that we're having now. So tell us a little bit more about the website and maybe the event on Saturday for people that would like to join.
Well, the event is on our Facebook page under the event, so that's World Kindness Australia. worldkindnessaustralia.org is the website, and you'll find a lot of links and information on there about what we're doing, and maybe we'll find this podcast on there.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate your time.
No,